Egypt's President el-Sisi and UK Prime Minister Starmer emphasized urgency of rebuilding Gaza without displacing residents. UN Secretary-General Guterres confirms participation in extraordinary Arab summit on Gaza in Cairo. And IMF schedules fourth review of Egypt's economic reform program for March 10, 2025. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're now watching Q News, bringing you the latest updates from Egypt. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer underscored the urgency of rebuilding Gaza without displacing its residents during a phone call between the two leaders. The Egyptian leader reaffirmed that the establishment of a Palestinian state along the pre-June 4, 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital is the only guarantee for lasting peace in the region. The call also covered Egypt's efforts to enforce the ceasefire, facilitate detainees exchanges, and deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza residents. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres confirmed his participation in the extraordinary Arab summit on Gaza scheduled for Tuesday in Cairo, Egypt. Guterres emphasized the need for sustainable reconstruction in Gaza and a political solution to the crisis. He also called for avoiding renewed hostilities, stressing that there should be no long-term Israeli presence in the Strip. Egypt's Dar el-Ifta officially declared today, Saturday, March 1, 2025, as the first day of Ramadan after confirming the sighting of the crescent moon last night. The announcement aligns with astronomical predictions made earlier in the week. The Egyptian government has urged citizens to embrace the spirit of Ramadan, with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi extending his greetings to the nation. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Awqaf has implemented a plan to regulate Taraweeh prayers in mosques, ensuring adequate space and security measures. Religious scholars will also conduct daily sermons to emphasize the spiritual significance of the holy month. Egypt is set to make history with the Grand Egyptian Museum opening on July 3, 2025. Approved by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, this landmark museum will showcase Egypt's rich ancient heritage in an unprecedented way.
Approved by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and announced by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Egypt is set to make history with the official opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, GEM, on July 3, 2025. A world-class ceremony is planned, with government ministries ensuring seamless logistics at airports, hotels, and roads leading to the venue, ensuring a seamless experience for distinguished guests. Hailed as Egypt's gift to the world, the GEM is set to become the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization, ancient Egypt, covering 500,000 square meters and including 12 exhibition halls. It is twice the size of the Louvre in Paris and 2.5 times larger than the British Museum in London. The museum sits just 2 kilometers from the Giza pyramids, offering visitors breathtaking views of Egypt's most iconic landmarks. For the first time since its discovery in 1922, the entire treasure collection of King Tutankhamun will be displayed in one place, making it a historic cultural milestone. Since late 2022, the museum has hosted exclusive events and private group visits, allowing officials to fine-tune the visitor experience before full public access. In recognition of its architectural excellence, UNESCO awarded the gem the prestigious Prix Versailles in 2024, cementing its status as one of the most beautiful museums in the world. With its grand opening just months away, Egypt is set to introduce the world to a new era of cultural and historical preservation.
Egypt's Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Sharif Fathi, met with German Ambassador to Cairo, Jürgen Scholz, to discuss bilateral cooperation in tourism and archaeology. The talks focused on joint archaeological projects, including excavation and restoration work at various historical sites across Egypt, where 39 German archaeological missions are currently operating. Discussions also reviewed tourism trends, particularly the growing number of German visitors to Egypt in the past year, and explored strategies to attract more German tourists, particularly those interested in beach tourism and coastal destinations. The UN Secretary-General's envoy on technology has praised Egypt's digital infrastructure and its progress in transitioning to a digital economy, emphasizing the Arab world's growing focus on digitization. Speaking to Middle East News Agency on the sidelines of the Digital Cooperation and Development Forum in Jordan, Jill noted that Arab leaders are increasingly investing in digital infrastructure to capitalize on emerging technological opportunities. He highlighted Egypt's significant advancements, stating that nationwide digital connectivity has enabled broad participation in the digital economy. Gill also commended Egypt's policies and regulatory frameworks, which allow private sector investment in digital infrastructure, facilitating startups and business expansion in the sector. Egypt's Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation, Dr. Hani Swalem, held a high-level meeting to review progress on the water infrastructure, rehabilitation and replacement project. Discussions covered the completion of the first phase, ongoing work in the second phase, and preparations for the third phase, along with an evaluation of regional irrigation administration performance in achieving project targets. The initiative follows directives from President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to modernize and rehabilitate Egypt's water infrastructure based on strategic needs. Dr. Swalem emphasized that the ministry aims to enhance the efficiency of water structures by shifting from level-based to flow-based water distribution, ensuring better resource management and optimized operation of irrigation networks. The Ministry of Trade and Industry has announced the opening of bids for 2,172 industrial land plots across 22 governorates, covering a total area of 13 million square meters. Investors and business owners can apply via the digital industrial platform from March 1st to March 7th, 2025. The initiative is part of the government's push to expand industrial production, attract foreign investment, and create job opportunities. The ministry has stated that the priority will be given to projects that align with Egypt's strategic industries, including pharmaceuticals, renewable energy, and automotive manufacturing. El Saudi Electric, Egypt's leading energy and infrastructure company, has announced a landmark power project in Hungary, marking its expansion into the European market. The new project, valued at 250 million euros, involves building renewable energy infrastructure to support Hungary's transition to clean energy. Company executives highlighted that this move aligns with Egypt's broader strategy to export engineering expertise and strengthen its global footprint in the energy sector. The Central Bank of Egypt has hosted a delegation from the Bank of Tanzania to discuss strategies for enhancing African financial cooperation. The meeting covered areas such as digital banking, monetary policies, and financial inclusion. Egypt has been actively working to deepen economic ties with African nations, particularly in the financial and trade sectors. The International Monetary Fund has scheduled the fourth review of Egypt's economic reform program under its loan agreement for March 10, 2025. Their review will assess Egypt's progress in implementing key economic measures, including fiscal discipline, exchange rate policies, and privatization efforts. Egypt is expected to secure an additional loan disbursement if it meets IMF requirements. Analysts believe the outcome of the review will have a significant impact on investor confidence and the Egyptian pound's performance in the coming weeks. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here's what we've been covering. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and UK Prime Minister Starmer emphasized urgency of rebuilding Gaza without displacing residents. UN Secretary General Guterres confirms participation in extraordinary Arab summit on Gaza in Cairo. And IMF schedules fourth review of Egypt's economic reform program for March 10, 2025. That's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments, and thank you so much for watching.